Hello there, UKSG chat, you cute people. This is Garshasp, the Temple of the Dragon, the second game in the Garshasp franchise, if that's the right word. There are only two games in this whole entire franchise. This is the second one, the quickest and easiest speedrun to do. The category is any % easy mode. Nobody runs normal or hard because who the hell wants to invest more time into this game than they have to? So, we're going to be starting with new game, and time will start as soon as I press easy. So if tech is ready on time, we're going to be going in 3, 2, 1, go. So, time's already running. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds in this cutscene. There's nothing that we can do to skip this cutscene. I have tried, invested far too much of my time in trying to skip this cutscene, but now we're just going to be stuck into this. So I can explain a little bit about what this game actually is. The general consensus is that it's basically a God of War clone. So we're going to be doing a lot of, should be doing a lot of combat, gaining health, gaining weapons as we go about the game. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to do everything we can just to skip to the end, because this is actually a very long-winded game. And if you look at the estimate, you'll see that it's down as 12 minutes. That is a very forgiving estimate, but hopefully we can actually get through this run in about 10 minutes, 9-10 minutes, on a good pace. So hopefully I shouldn't have to keep you too much longer than I already have to. There's two things to note about this game. The first of which is we're going to be doing a lot of rolling, using out of bounds skips as well. And the second thing is that we are the one true coward. So the two characters that you see here, the big muscly dude with the big great sword, that is Garshasp, and the dude standing behind him is his brother, and he is the one true coward. And we are the embodiment of the one true coward. So, we're still in this cutscene. There's nothing I can do. As soon as we get out of this cutscene, we're going to start rolling. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the controls of this game, because there is no actually button to roll. The way that you roll is that you use the right analog stick if you've changed your controls correctly, because when setting up this game, you have the option of the default controls, which is bound to movement on the right analog stick and rolling on the left. So you really do have to change that if you want your controls to work like a normal game. So straight away, this is the first area, this is the first fight. We're not going to do the first fight. This guy's a nice friend. I'm going to take him over to this side of the map, jump on all these enemies' heads just for a bit, to try and get on the barrier, this red wall here. And if these guys were playing nice, I'd be doing this a lot quicker, except they're not. I have to be quick jumping on these guys, otherwise I can't get on the barrier properly, because they do like to move. But I'm going to go straight onto this barrier here, jump around the wall, jump around another wall if I can do it properly, which I can't for some reason. Come on. There we go. And now we're going to roll out of bounds again. So, now that we're down here, I'm going to run into this rock where there's a checkpoint, restart the checkpoint, and get back in bounds from there. So already we skipped a fair bit of fighting to do, and already on a very, well, not a very good pace, but it's still a decent pace run already. This is normal. Don't worry about this camera angle. Don't worry about those high definition bushes there. They're normal as well. So we're going to roll into this little cutscene here, pause the game, restart the checkpoint, and we're going to continue on. Don't worry about those spikes, we can jump on those for some reason, don't ask me why. We're going to go straight into this cutscene here, and we're already at the first boss of the game. So, this guy is very, very scary. I mean, look at him, look at his intro. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm terrified of this guy. So, straight away, we're going to be going straight towards him, run off to the left over to this wall here, make sure that he's with us, jump on his head and try and get onto this fence here. And if he was playing nice, I would have done it already. Jump over here, jump around here, while we're still out of bounds, get onto this ledge which teleports us back in bounds and start backtracking. So, we're backtracking here now as this is basically like 70% of the way through the game. We are actually meant to go forward during that, but we're going to backtrack a little bit because what we want is we want a ledge. So, what I'm doing here is a strat called the Wiggle Wiggle. And I know that's a great name because it is. So all I'm doing here is I'm hanging off a ledge and pressing left and right on the directional pad so that I can raise the camera up to a very specific point. Once I get to the point that I want, I'm going to hold right and do 30 light attacks, which will move Garshasp to the right ever so slightly into the position that we need. So while I'm doing that, and I'm going to need to count quite quietly because I do like to get myself lost because I can't actually count to 30 properly, believe it or not. So once I get to that point, I'm going to hand over to Arg so that he can just talk away for a little bit while I'm busy counting in my head.
Well, while you're counting away, I am going to do some numbers of myself. We have 2 donations in at the moment. We got a $50 donation from a Viper saying, really enjoyed my runs for UKSG Spring 2020 and might even be able to show off more Stuart Little or Deconstruction Derby too if people want it. In the meantime, here's some dosh to fit the bill. And we also got a $5 donation from Smathlatz23 saying, you know what I'm going to say, Grizz, and I apologize in advance for this. Hör auf ein Fiegling zu sein.
Thank you, Smath.
Again, thank you for your donations there. Much appreciated.
There we go, that should be plenty enough as it is. Thank you again, Smath, for that donation. Hua auf ein Feigling zu sein to you as well, my friend, which is German translation for stop being a coward. So thank you very much for that donation. And to you as well, Viper, for the $50 as well. I enjoyed both your runs, mate. So we have just skipped to the very final boss of the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll into that cutscenes trigger there. I'm going to restart the checkpoint, and what this is now is this is the boss fight, but as you've probably noticed, there is no boss here, and for some reason that I can't explain, the boss just doesn't spawn during this first phase of the fight, and we can actually just activate this lever without any problems, because we are meant to activate these spikes to damage the boss and unlock his health bar. And this is the boss right here. So now that we've actually done that, he spawns in properly now. I'm going to have to jump over there, land on top of the spikes, which don't damage us for some reason. Don't ask me why, they just don't. This game is great. Attack him a couple of times as well, and now we can actually do some damage to the boss. So I didn't mention it before, but I'm going to mention it now. You see that green orb that's at the top of the screen? If I were to go anywhere near that, the initial cutscene would play out, and I don't want that to happen because I would have to restart this fight all over again. So I'm just going to slap the boss as much as I can. And the way I'm doing that is I'm using solely light attacks. And whenever I can, I'm blocking at just the right moment so I can get a counter, which is this animation here, which does a lot of damage to the boss. So that's all I'm trying to do here, and I'm getting very close to this cutscene. I shouldn't really be getting this close, but it's alright because the boss is already dead. And this is a cutscene here. We could skip this cutscene if I had completed this game before I started streaming, but I'm not too sure if that's actually allowed by the community. I'm already asking the question, but just for now, just to make sure that this run is definitely official, I'll let this cutscene play out. Because we get to see a big-ass dragon here. I mean, look at him, terrifying little thing. I mean, he definitely just wants to kill us. And you'd think that this dragon would be the final boss of the game. I mean, he definitely looks like he could be, except, nah, he doesn't care about us. He's just going to go and have a little bit of dinner, like I definitely need to do after this run, because I am starving. So he's just going to leave us alone there now, after having a quick little snack. and then we are going to be going through the very, very last part of the game. Time will be coming up very, very soon, by the way, Tech, if you're ready to take it. As soon as we get across this bridge, that will be time, but all we have to do is just dodge all of these enemies as well. So I'm going to roll first, do a couple of double jumps just to make sure I can get over the top of the enemies, continuously roll until I reach our coward of a brother, and that's time.
I did stop it, don't worry.
Excellent. So, what was my final time actually?
9:22 according to Aaron.
That's actually a decent time. Not PB, but it's still a decent time to get in a marathon, especially with that start I had. I had a really good boss fight, had a really good wiggle, and the second half of the run was actually very good. This is a very, very easy run to do. It's a very simple run to learn. To be honest with you, can learn this in an afternoon and it's fine. It's very cheap game on Steam, so if you're wanting to get into speedrunning and you're not sure where to start, this is definitely the game to do it on. It's a really simple game, really simple tech, and if you're wanting to learn it, send me a message, I'll teach you, because I'm happy to do that, because like I say, it's a really simple run to get involved with. Other than that, that will be it from me. Unfortunately, I do not have any more runs in this marathon, but please do stick around to watch UKSG, as we have probably the hypest run of the marathon coming up next, which is Street Boys with Rebel Dragon. But I'm going to sign off now and hand it back over to the host and Tech to get you set up for the next one. So thank you guys for sticking around with me during this terrible game, but decent speed run. I'll see you guys next time.